"Your Honor," she began, her voice trembling, eyes glistening with tears that weren't real. "Josh used to scream at me, call me worthless. Sometimes he'd grab me so hard I'd bruise. I was afraid to sleep most nights. I thought he might kill me if I said the wrong thing." Her words echoed off the courtroom walls like a gunshot, loud, shocking, and deadly. I sat there, frozen, trying to keep my hands from trembling. Not out of fear, but rage. There she was, my wife of 5 years, standing just 20 feet away from me, spinning stories that had never happened. And the way she said it, like she believed it. I wanted to shout, to laugh, to cry, but I did none of those things. I looked at her and thought, "You're really doing this." The woman I once woke up beside every morning, the woman whose favorite coffee I knew by heart, who once danced barefoot in our kitchen. Now she was accusing me of being a monster. And the worst part? Some people in that room were starting to believe her.
Before we begin today's unforgettable story, welcome to Whispers of Reality, where real-life inspired stories come to life with raw emotion, suspense, and powerful truths. From heartbreaking betrayals to jaw-dropping comebacks, shocking secrets to soul-stirring moments, every story on this channel is a whisper from reality itself. These aren't just stories, they're experiences you'll feel. If you believe in the power of storytelling and love content that moves, inspires, and keeps you coming back for more, make sure to hit that subscribe button, tap the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Like this video, and share it with someone who needs to hear the truth behind today's tale. Now, sit back, open your heart, and let the whispers begin.
My name is Josh Carter. I'm 38. A self-made man, co-founder of a high-growth software company based in Santa Monica, California. I used to think that success meant you had everything under control. Then my wife taught me otherwise. Her name is Lena, beautiful, brilliant, and, apparently, capable of deceit that could make even seasoned lawyers sweat. When we first met, she was magnetic, a rising star in corporate PR. She could talk circles around anyone. I fell fast and hard. The kind of love that makes you ignore your instincts when they start whispering that something's off. For 5 years, we were the picture-perfect couple. Or at least, that's what I told myself. Vacations in Napa, weekends in Malibu, brunches with friends where she'd rest her head on my shoulder like we were still 20. Everyone envied us. Hell, I envied us. But I should have paid closer attention. The late-night meetings. The texts she tilted away from me. The perfume on her that didn't belong to her. I wanted to trust her. God, I really did. But something in my gut started nagging at me. So, I did what I swore I'd never do. I hired a private investigator. It took the investigator 7 days to give me what I needed. 7 of the longest, most stomach-churning days of my life. The envelope was thick. He handed it to me like it contained a bomb. In a way, it did. "Everything's in there," he said. Pictures, phone logs, messages, hotel receipts. She wasn't even being careful. I nodded, paid him, and sat in my car with the envelope on my lap. Engine off, heart thudding like a war drum. I stared at her handwriting on a restaurant napkin, scrawled across a photo. "Last night was heaven. Can't wait to feel your hands again." It wasn't written to me. The man's name was Cole Dawson, mid-30s, charming in a sleazy kind of way. Her co-worker. I had met him twice. Once at a company holiday party where he shook my hand and said, "You're a lucky guy," with eyes that lingered on Lena longer than they should have. And once at their company dinner, where he accidentally spilled wine on her dress and rushed to help clean it. I should have seen it. All of it. Photos of them kissing in the parking garage. Holding hands near our favorite sushi spot like they owned the world. A hotel reservation under his name, her car in the lot, time-stamped. Same nights, she told me she was staying late at work. There was even audio, low quality, but clear enough. He's so blind, Cole. Sometimes I think he knows, but he just keeps playing house. And then laughter. Hers. That laughter carved me open. I didn't confront her right away. It took everything in me not to. But I had seen enough courtroom dramas to know how the story ends when you act on emotion. Instead, I documented everything. Backed it all up to cloud storage, encrypted and safe. Hired a lawyer, quiet, strategic, brilliant, and gave him the folder. He asked me just one question. Do you want to win? Or do you want closure? Both, I said. I confronted Lena on a Saturday evening. I remember it clearly, the way the sunset bled through the windows like an omen. She was folding laundry, humming a song I no longer recognized. How is Cole? I asked. She stopped briefly and turned to me with a shocked look. He is fine, she replied, staring at me for another moment with a searching gaze before continuing to fold the laundry. You were at the Palomar with Cole on the 8th. Don't bother lying. I've got everything. She froze. The shirt in her hands slipped to the floor. When she looked at me again, there was no guilt in her eyes. Just calculation. Fine, she said calmly. So what? You want a divorce? You'll be hearing from my attorney. Just like that. Like 5 years meant nothing. That night, she packed a small bag and left the house. She didn't tell me where she was going, and I didn't ask. What I didn't expect, what caught me off guard, was how fast she moved. 2 days later, I was served. Not just divorce papers, but a restraining order, alleging domestic violence, emotional abuse, threats. Then the court battle started. He used to punch walls when he was angry, the affidavit read. He threw a glass at me during an argument in June. I feared for my life. I still do. Pure fiction. I had never laid a finger on her. Never even raised my voice. But Lena played her part like a seasoned actress. She had fake bruises and photos, manipulated texts, tearful voicemails. I don't know how she did it, but the evidence her lawyer presented was so good, I nearly believed them myself. But what she didn't know, and in their bid to paint me as a domestic abuser, they forgot to do their due diligence. On the day she claimed I attacked her, I wasn't even in California. I was in Nevada, 200 miles away on a client site, and I had the badge swipes, video logs, and time-stamped emails to prove it. She was playing checkers. I was playing chess. There's a moment when someone tries to destroy you, that everything inside you either shatters or hardens. For me, it hardened. I stopped mourning the marriage. I stopped trying to understand why she would do something so cruel, so calculated. I stopped feeling sorry for myself, and I started building my defense like I was constructing a fortress. The morning of our first court appearance, I wore a charcoal gray suit. Subtle, serious. I didn't need to look like a victim, just someone who couldn't possibly be what she claimed. Lena arrived 20 minutes late, flanked by her lawyer, a silver-tongued woman named Cheryl Danner, known for winning ugly. Lena wore a black dress, minimal makeup, and just enough shakiness in her step to seem fragile. She didn't look at me. Fine. I wasn't here for a reunion. The judge, stern, sharp, with no time for games, looked from Lena to me as she read over the file. Mrs. Carter, these are serious allegations, she said. Do you have proof of physical abuse? Lena's voice trembled. Yes, Your Honor. I submitted photos and text messages where he threatened me. Mr. Carter, the judge asked. How do you respond? I stood calm. I was out of state on the date she claims the attack occurred. I have documents, surveillance footage, company logs, and hotel records proving it. They've been submitted to the court. The judge raised an eyebrow, flipped through the file. After about 30 seconds, she spoke. These records appear legitimate. Ms. Danner, was your client aware of Mr. Carter's documented absence on the day in question? Lena's lawyer hesitated. Your Honor, my client. Was she aware, counselor? The lawyer glanced at Lena. A silent exchange. Then, no, Your Honor. Lena shifted in her seat. Just a flicker of discomfort. But it was the first crack in her porcelain mask. The judge didn't dismiss the case outright. Not yet. But the tone of the room changed. The benefit of the doubt had shifted. And I wasn't done. Over the next 2 weeks, I worked with my legal team like a general planning for war. I released the surveillance photos of Lena and Cole. Dated. Stamped. In public. I didn't leak them. Not yet. But they went straight into the court file with accompanying witness statements from the PI and even a hotel receptionist who remembered them vividly. We subpoenaed Cole. He didn't show. Twice. When he finally did, he looked like he hadn't slept in a week. His lawyer sat next to him, red-faced and nervous. Cole tried to minimize the relationship, claimed it was brief and meaningless. But under oath, with my PI's file spread out in front of the court, he cracked. Lena sat still as a statue, jaw clenched, staring straight ahead. Cole's confession shredded what little credibility she had left. But the dagger came when Cole's wife came in unannounced and asked my lawyer to call her as a witness. I didn't know her and hadn't expected her to show. I didn't even know she knew. But she did. Apparently, she'd seen the same signs I had. Checked his phone. Found messages from Lena. Voice notes. Even a few naked photos. She cried on the stand. Not for me, not for Lena, but for herself. They ruined 2 marriages, she said. And she's lying to cover her own tracks. That was the moment Lena finally looked at me. And I saw it. Panic. By the time my lawyer filed for counter damages, emotional distress, defamation, slander, legal fees, we had the momentum. The judge allowed it to proceed. Lena's lawyer tried to stall. She asked for continuances, tried to suppress evidence, challenged witnesses. But the truth was a wildfire. It spread faster than they could contain it. The final hearing came on a Friday. The courtroom was silent as the judge flipped through the last of the documents. Then, she looked at Lena. "You have not only failed to prove your claims," she said slowly, "but have submitted false evidence and engaged in deception. You are hereby ordered to pay the plaintiff's legal fees and additional damages for defamation and emotional distress." I didn't smile. I didn't gloat. I just breathed, fully, for the first time in months. People think that winning means the pain stops. It doesn't. Winning feels like standing in the smoking ruins of your house after the fire's out. You're alive, but nothing is the same. The smoke gets in your clothes. It stays in your lungs. And every time you close your eyes, you can still hear the crackling. That's how I felt when the judge banged the gavel for the last time. The story got out and media got wind of it, of course. Wife fined for faking domestic abuse in high-profile Silicon Beach breakup. Her name was plastered everywhere. So was mine. I didn't read the articles. My lawyer told me to stay off social media, to lay low, let the news cycle move on. I tried, but a buddy of mine sent me a video clip late one night. I couldn't help but watch. It was our last day in court. Lena, my Lena, being cornered by reporters outside the courthouse. "Do you have anything to say about the judgment? Do you admit the allegations were false? Are you facing perjury charges?" She said nothing, just pushed past them, her face pale, her hair tied back in a messy bun that screamed, "I give up." For a moment, I felt a flicker of pity, but then I remembered her on the stand, lying with tears in her eyes, and I let it die. I moved out of the house 2 weeks after the verdict. Not because I had to. It was mine, now legally and fully. But I didn't want to live in a mausoleum of broken trust. Every room echoed. Every chair felt like it remembered something I didn't want to feel. I kept the company, kept the car, kept my name. But I left the ghost of that marriage behind. I found a place in the hills. Smaller, simpler, quiet. It had an ugly little fireplace I learned to love and windows that showed me sunsets instead of surveillance. Lena tried to call me once. It was a blocked number. I answered without thinking. "Josh," her voice was soft, like she thought if she whispered, I might forget everything. I didn't speak. "I didn't mean for it to go that far," she said. I was angry. "I didn't think you'd fight back." That last part stuck with me. She didn't think I'd fight back, like I was supposed to take it, to let her ruin me and vanish with my life in a suitcase. She started crying. Real tears, I think. Or maybe practiced. I'd stopped trusting my instincts around her. "I've lost everything," she said. I didn't know how else to win. There it was. Not love, not regret, just the confession of someone who thought life was a game, and she was the only one who got to cheat. "I didn't deserve you," she said finally. I hung up. Later that night, I stood outside under a cold California sky and lit a match. One by one, I burned the last of the photos. Not the digital files, the real ones. The wedding shots. The birthdays. Her smiling in our kitchen in a vintage t-shirt, making pancakes like nothing could ever go wrong. The flame curled around her smile, turned it black, then red, then gone. It didn't make me feel better, but it made me feel free. There's a strange quiet that follows survival. It's not peace, not exactly. More like the ringing silence after a bomb goes off. You walk around with a slight tremble in your bones, unsure if the ground beneath your feet is real or just the memory of something solid. But slowly, I began to breathe again. My mornings changed first. No more making 2 cups of coffee. No more checking my phone to see if she texted. No more listening for footsteps that didn't come. Just me, the sunrise through the kitchen window, and silence, the good kind this time. I went back to the office a month after the final ruling. My team greeted me like a returning soldier. No awkward stares, no pity, just quiet respect. Some had read the headlines. Most didn't ask. Therapy was harder. I didn't want to go. I thought I could work through it by lifting weights and drowning in code and pretending I didn't miss someone I barely recognized anymore. But one night, I had a panic attack while brushing my teeth. Full on, couldn't breathe, knees buckling, heart hammering like I'd just outrun a truck. So I went. Her name was Dr. Monique Hale, sharp-eyed, blunt, no nonsense. "First session," she said, "I'm not here to help you forget. I'm here to make sure you don't drag her ghost into the next chapter of your life." That was the moment I knew I'd come to the right place. Weeks passed. Lena stayed quiet. No calls. No emails. Her social media accounts vanished. Word around was that she left her job, sold her car, and moved back in with her sister in San Diego. I didn't chase the rumor. Let the past rot in peace. Cole, fired. His wife filed for divorce. His name became a punchline at his firm. There was a time when revenge would have tasted sweet. But in truth, by then, it barely registered. What mattered was that I had survived it all, not just with my reputation intact, but with a sharper mind and thicker skin. It had been almost 3 months since the verdict. I was moving on. Slowly, steadily. Therapy was doing its job. Work was back on track. Then she showed up. I was pulling into my office garage on a Thursday morning when I saw her. Lena, leaning against a pillar like a memory I hadn't summoned, arms crossed, face pale and exhausted. She looked thinner, dark circles under her eyes. No makeup, no performance, just her. "Josh," she said, stepping forward. "Please, I just want 5 minutes." Everything in me told me to walk past her. I had no legal obligation to speak, no emotional reason to care. But closure is a strange animal, always hiding just behind the door you swore you'd never open again. So I listened. We sat in my office, the blinds closed, the city humming far below us. "I lost everything," she began. "My job, my apartment, my reputation. I can't even go to Trader Joe's without someone whispering about me." I said nothing. She pressed on. "I know I deserve it. I know I lied, and I hurt you. But I panicked. You were going to leave me. You cheated." I cut in. "Repeatedly. Lied. Fabricated abuse. Tried to destroy my name. You didn't panic, Lena. You calculated." Her lip quivered, but the tears didn't come this time. Instead, she reached into her bag and pulled out an envelope. "This is why I came." I hesitated, opened it. Inside was a handwritten letter and a full legal retraction, signed and notarized, admitting that she falsified evidence, that I never laid a hand on her, that the abuse claims were fabricated to gain leverage in the divorce. "I figured if you ever wanted to fully clear your name publicly, seal the door forever," she whispered. I looked up, suspicious. "What do you want in return?" She laughed bitterly. "Nothing. I'm not here to negotiate anymore. I needed to hand this to you. To end it. For real. We sat there in silence. Then she stood. I never loved you the way you deserved, she said. I didn't know how. And I hope someday you find someone who does. And just like that, she walked out. I stared at the retraction for a long time. I could publish it, ruin her even more, remove every last shred of doubt from public memory, cement my name as the man who beat a false accusation with cold, calculated truth. But I didn't. I filed it away, quietly, not because I forgave her, because I no longer needed to destroy her to feel whole.
And that brings us to the end of today's story. What are your thoughts? What would you have done in that situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we read every single one. Your perspective matters, and we love hearing how these stories connect with you. If this story moved you, inspired you, or even shocked you, don't forget to like the video, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss another true life tale from Whispers of Reality. We have more powerful stories coming your way, real stories that deserve to be heard. Until next time, keep listening to the whispers.